Hello, so glad you're here on a Friday morning. Annette is here. Can I clear my throat quickly?
Go ahead. You ready?
Yes. Let's do this. Here's what we're working on this morning. A crash on the 403 in Burlington heading towards Toronto, causing major traffic delays.
There's a large police presence in downtown St. Catharines this morning.
And the Leafs, they get their first win of the season in New Jersey. And we're going to get to Brian in a second about this traffic chaos. But when I was in bed last night, I guess there was something going on in the night sky, wasn't there?
Same with me. There was so much going on. Northern lights visible over so many parts of our coverage area. And we've received a ton of photos. So we're going to show as many as we can here. So this was taken by Lisanne Lefebvre in Stony Creek. This is looking towards Hamilton Harbor. Look at that. And Rob Faraway took this photo of the Northern Lights dancing over Grimsby. It's just different colors. These are from the solar flares. It's the largest flares in almost 20 years, so that's why we're seeing the lights so much farther south right now. It's
just fabulous. Thank you for all the photos that you sent us, Brian. I know you received so many of them as well.
Yes.
We're going to be sharing them throughout the morning. If you did take some more, send them our way. We'd like to share them with the whole class, because some of those colors are just fabulous, weren't they? Oh,
They really are, and it's not like it's just a static light. I mean, they
dance.
Yeah, they really dance and they move and they shimmer. It's just phenomenal. I wish I'd seen it. I
missed it all. But well, we get to see it through your lens. So fabulous. Thank you so much for helping us out.
Okay, not fabulous is what's happening on the road this morning on the 403.
Yeah, it's just a nightmare. This is just exactly what you don't want any morning. Never mind a Friday morning. I'll just tell you briefly. Sunny and 21 today. Beautiful. So no problem. We're at 3 right now. Look at that camera. That's our exclusive camera. 403 and Waterdown Road. That is stopped. That has been like that for at least an hour, probably more. When I came in, it was like that. Those vehicles have not moved at all. So we have a collision on the 403 heading Toronto bound, trying to get out of Hamilton to get into Burlington. If we go to our MTO traffic camera, I'll show you this. Those vehicles, they haven't moved at all. So what we have looks like a collision right underneath the King Road overpass. As you can see, the service road is moving way over to the left-hand side. But now I'm getting word of a collision on the ramp from Waterdown Road to go either north or south on Waterdown Road to get off this place. But what I'm going to do is Simone Gavros is on the scene at the moment, and she's going to give us more details on this. Good morning, Simone.
Hi, good morning, Brian. Well, we just spoke with OPP, and they've confirmed that a construction worker has life-threatening injuries after a vehicle hit a piece of equipment that the construction worker was working on. Now, as of right now, as you mentioned, the 403 going eastbound towards Toronto is closed. All lanes are closed at Waterdown Road, so all traffic is being diverted off at that point. But as of right now, there are many police cruisers that remain on scene as they are investigating what exactly took place here. This happened around 4:07 this morning, to be exact, according to police officers. And at this point, it is still an active scene. All lanes are closed at this point, and all vehicles are being diverted off. Now, people who were able to get through before that road closure began are currently stuck in that middle right here where we can see at the King Road overpass. So we are waiting to hear more from police about if there is any details about the construction worker they can share. We do know that the person who was driving the vehicle also sustained injuries as well. They have just minor injuries at this point. There are no details about what exactly led to this collision, how anything happened, but at this point, we do know that there was construction taking place on the 403. So anyone who is looking to head out to Toronto going eastbound this morning, head onto the QEW or even onto the 407, their best bet is to take any service roads to get around this collision. It'll likely be closed until around 8 a.m. this morning. But for now, I'll send things back over to you.
All right, thanks, Simone. Well, there was a large police presence in downtown St. Catharines this morning. Investigation began around 10:30 last night in the area of Niagara and Church Street. So details on this, very limited at this point, but the public is asked to avoid the area. We have reached out to Niagara Police for additional details at this point, waiting to hear back so that we can pass those along to you.
Niagara Regional Police are investigating the discovery of human remains in West Lincoln. This follows a call Wednesday night that someone from a home near Yonge Street and South Grimsby Road 6 had found a jawbone. More remains and clothing were later discovered. Detectives are working with forensic teams right now to identify the person.
Niagara Police have made an arrest in the connection to the death of 60-year-old Kathy Prosciugiu. So officers arrested 42-year-old Joseph Villeneuve from Smithville yesterday and have charged him with first-degree murder. This investigation, it began back in April when first responders discovered the woman's body in their shared home on April the 26th. Villeneuve is scheduled to appear at a bail hearing later today.
An Oakville doctor is facing a sexual assault charge. 64-year-old Dr. Clarence Clotty was arrested earlier this week. Halton police say they were contacted after a woman was sexually assaulted during a visit to the Bristol Family Physicians Clinic in Oakville. Halton police have released this photo because they believe there may be other victims.
Well, a shocking armed robbery in Thornhill, just north of Toronto. That is under investigation. York Regional Police say 3 suspects violently pulled a man from his vehicle in a commercial plaza near Yonge and Meadowview Avenue. This was back on Tuesday night. The victim was boxed in by a white Lexus SUV and a white Mercedes-Benz before the suspects assaulted the driver of the black car you see on the left there. They stole a black suitcase filled with cash from that victim's car. Police are now searching for the suspects and believe that this was a targeted incident.
In a first, Hamilton City Council has approved the use of online voting for a Ward 4 by-election next year. Hamilton Council approved its use in a 12-3 decision. There's a English public school board trustee vacancy, and council is looking for ways to increase voter turnout and make voting more accessible. Associate Professor of Political Science at McMaster University, Peter Grafe, says the city is going to have to find a company to structure an online election that follows Ontario Municipal Act guidelines.
Hamilton would be joining the majority of municipalities that, as of the 2022 election, had already adopted this. So it's not like they have to invent this from scratch. They're really left on their own to find the vendor. They have to comply with the strictures of the Ontario Municipal Elections Act. But again, most municipalities have been able to do that.
Now, Hamilton City Council at this point has only approved the idea of the online voting. The next step is to determine if it's possible to implement before this by-election next year. Canada's longest-running go-kart track is closing. Lakeland Kartway on Hamilton's Van Wagner's Beach has been in business 66 years. This is going to be the last weekend for the track, and they're inviting people to come out and visit one last time. Track rentals will continue until the end of the month. In a post on Facebook last night, the family that runs Lakeland Kartway thanked customers for their decades of support. They're going to be open Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, weather permitting.
They did not give a reason why.
No, we were there years ago, Live Eye Luke and I. We had some fun at that race car track.
It's too bad.
Yeah, it is a legendary spot in the city. All right, Sportsline time. Maple Leafs right back at it after their opening night loss in Montreal. Wouldn't get any easier as their former coach, Sheldon Keefe, had his talented New Jersey Devils standing by and waiting.
The sound of goal, Camp centers it, and McMahon didn't quite get that. Headshot scores! There's Lawrence. His first as a Leaf, and it's 3-0 Toronto.
But after not scoring against the Habs, the Leafs would fire 3 home in the first period, much due to the dismay of Keefe, who were coming in, and his Devils coming in after beating Buffalo twice over in Prague last week. But that goal by Waterloo's Steven Lorentz was his first as a member of the Leafs. What a thrill for the childhood Leaf fan. John Tavares, also a childhood Leaf fan, would add to that with his first of the year. And then Dennis Hildeby, who was making his first NHL debut in net, would only allow a couple goals, make 22 saves for his first NHL win. Leafs take it 4-2, so they head on home to host Sidney Crosby tomorrow night in Hockey Night in Canada.
To come in on the second.
Let's get to the nation's capital, where Michael Andlauer's Senators made their season debut against the Cup champs from Florida. Many expect the Sens to make the playoffs this season. They would be happy with the effort, as their new goalie, Linus Ullmark, would make 30 saves, and the hometown fans loving life as they beat Florida 3-1. Tim Stützle would score twice, including an empty netter to seal it.
In the air to center field. Judge has it lined up, and the Yankees are on their way to the LCS.
We have our first American League team in the League Championship Series, and for the 19th time, it is the New York Yankees who eliminated the upstart Kansas City Royals last night 3-1 in Game 4 of the ALDS. Garrett Cole only allowed a run in 7 strong innings. Bronx Bombers now await the winner between Cleveland and Detroit to determine, easy for me to say, who they will be playing in the LCS.
Brisky deals it, and Fry in the air, deep left field. This is back, this is up, and gone!
And pinch hitter David Fry's 2-run homer in the 7th inning was the difference for Cleveland as they stay alive in their ALDS with Detroit, who had the hometown fans hoping they would book their ticket into the ALCS, but the 5-4 win by the Guardians means Game 5 goes down tomorrow in Cleveland with a chance to face the Yanks starting Monday.
Purdy dancing wide open, making the grab. Samuel, the tackle is missed. Debo off to the end zone. Touchdown 49ers.
Yeah, week 6 of the NFL season went down last night from Seattle with 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy leading the way, tossing 3 touchdown passes, highlighted by that Debo Samuel 76-yard catch. Seahawks, they'd make a game of it in the second half, but San Fran would hold them off and move into first atop the NFC West with the 36-24 win. And finally, what a start to the WNBA Finals from New York, as the Liberty led the Minnesota Lynx by as many as 18 points, with all signs them taking the opening game. But the Lynx would take the lead very late in regulation on that 4-point play. So we went to overtime, where Minnesota's Nafisa Collier would hit the winning buckets for Minnesota, and they come back to take the 1-0 series lead.
12 minutes after 6 o'clock, it is Friday morning, and we have traffic headaches this morning, and this is serious. This is a problem on the 403, trying to get out of Hamilton to head to Burlington. Complete closure. You are forced off at Waterdown Road. As you can see, those vehicles that are sitting there right now have been sitting there and haven't moved for over an hour. This is a serious collision that we have. If we go to our MTO traffic camera, that's our camera. This is the MTO traffic camera. This is the camera just west of King. So you're looking at Toronto-bound lanes heading away from us. We've got complete closure there. It looks like it's just right around the King Road overpass. A vehicle struck a construction a piece of equipment, and there have been serious injuries involved in this. So what we have now is the complete closure. You're forced off at Waterdown Road to go either north to the service road or into Waterdown to take Highway 5, or to go to Plains Road. Those are your options here this morning, because that has been like that for over an hour, and that is going to continue for quite a while this morning as the accident cleanup and investigation go on. So try to avoid that if you possibly can. If you're in it, pack your patience. It's just going to be a horrendous start to our Friday here in traffic in the Hamilton area. All right, everything else is moving nicely, so we have no problems on any of the other routes at all, which is good. Let's get to our forecast. Temperature this morning, yeah, we're on the cool side, 3 degrees. We have a frost advisory right now. The winds are light. The relative humidity is right up there at 100%. The skies are fairly clear. Look at this temperature today, 21 degrees, sunshine, way above seasonal. A bit of a southwesterly breeze, but that's going to pull in the milder temperatures, as you can see. We do have a cold front descending that could just cross us later on tonight, give us some clouds. We're not looking at showers. Tomorrow's going to be sunny, and then it looks like by Sunday we could get some showers again, overnight Saturday into Sunday. So today, 20 20, 21, 22 degrees, depending on where you are around the horseshoe, but everybody enjoying the sunshine today. Skies will be partly cloudy to fairly clear for Hamilton. Temperatures milder tonight, 7 to 8 to 10 degrees, but 5 for Kitchener and Guelph. And then tomorrow, temperature comes down a bit, but still, that's above seasonal for this time of year. So we'll continue to have the sunshine, 16, 17 degrees for the day tomorrow. So out the door, 11th of October already. We do have a fairly clear sky. It is cool. Temperature right now, 3. Long range in a few minutes. Annette, Tim.
That's why he's sporting the turtleneck.
Yes.
Because it's cool out.
Yep.
Looking good there, buddy, on a Friday. Okay, coming up after the break, we'll say good morning to Emily Vukovic and see what she has coming up in Chit Chat. Also, business news, TD Bank is facing a hefty fine following a money laundering investigation. That and other business news in 2. 6:17 on your Friday morning. There is Emily Vukovic.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Coming up in Chit Chat, do you guys remember Saved by the Bell?
Do I remember Saved by the Bell?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Although I never ever saw it.
It's more our era.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
And
I was spared it.
True. At the time I loved it.
Me too. Like, it was my favorite show ever.
Yeah.
One of those wonderful actors from the show has received a Hollywood star on the Walk of Fame. We'll talk about that. We will also be discussing a new Halloween costume, but this time it's for adults. And Wicked has released the soundtrack. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
And Ariana Grande is on SNL this weekend in anticipation of that.
Yeah,
So that should be
so good.
That should be good. All right, we'll see you in a few, about 20 minutes over at the couch.
I'll be there.
All right, business news. Let's get into this. We start with our numbers. Canadian dollar down 4 basis points, trading at 72.67 cents US. Gold up over 18 bucks, 26.58 an ounce. Crude oil down 70 cents, 75.15 a barrel. Off to Europe we go. Hey, Europe, it's Friday. Markets are down in London and Frankfurt, but up a titch in Paris.
In Asia, markets were up today in Tokyo. Hong Kong closed for a holiday, and Shanghai's market fell by 84. Oh, on Wall Street, how can I forget about that? North American markets. TSX was up by 77 points. Wall Street down just a little bit.
Sitting on the edge of my chair, just waiting for the Wall Street numbers.
Sorry.
So thank you. Good morning. Glad you're here. I just want to pass along an important recall for parents to know about. Several Fisher-Price infant swings, they have been recalled in Canada due to a suffocation hazard. Health Canada issued the recall yesterday, warning parents to stop using Snugga swings immediately. So this comes after reports of 5 infant deaths linked to the swings being used for sleep. Excuse me. Over 99,000 affected products were sold in Canada, while around 2.1 million units were sold in the U.S. between 2012 and 2022. Mattel, the company behind the swings, they're offering a partial refund. All right, StatsCan is set to release its latest snapshot of the nation's job market this morning. Economists, they were polled by Reuters. They predict the Canadian economy added 27,000 jobs in September, with an unemployment rate just ticking up a little bit higher to 6.7%. The economy added 22,000 jobs in August as the jobless rate rose to 6.6. Meanwhile, Bank of Canada is expected to release its Business Outlook survey a little bit later this morning, along with its Canadian survey of consumer expectations. The report comes ahead of the central bank's next interest rate decision, which is on October 23rd.
TD Bank has to pay $3 billion US in an historic money laundering settlement in the States. Prosecutors say money laundering networks collectively transferred hundreds of millions of dollars through the TD Bank accounts over the years because of the bank's lax practices. The Canadian-based bank has become the largest bank in U.S. history to plead guilty to conspiracy to commit money laundering. TD was found to have significant systemic breakdowns that created an environment that, quote, allowed financial crime to flourish by making its services convenient for criminals.
That's a big business story down stateside. So not affecting TD Banks here. That's
no.
Stateside. Okay, big story for us around these parts too. A 403 Toronto bound in Burlington is shut down because of an issue there. Brian has that, and we'll look at your weekend forecast right after this.
All right, 6:24 on the button. I'm just wanting to go to our exclusive camera to see if we have any movement here. It looks like it's starting to move a little bit, but it's still just absolutely backlogged into Hamilton. This is the 403. This is our exclusive camera right around Waterdown Road. Toronto-bound lanes coming towards us, and yes, you're starting to see a little bit of movement there now because we go to our MTO traffic camera in that location. It'll show us that we're looking at the vehicles starting to be squeezed over to the left now. So they've opened up one lane to try to alleviate some of this backlog. What we had was a vehicle strike a piece of a worker on a construction vehicle, and serious injuries involved in this. So now you're looking at the backlog coming towards us. So you can see complete closure of the left-hand lanes going out of Hamilton toward Burlington, but now they are opening up one left-hand lane just to try to alleviate some of this backlog. So a serious collision here, and actually there is a lane closed on the Hamilton-bound traffic, as you can see coming towards us. There's the left lane closed through there as well. So quite a problem here trying to get from Burlington to Hamilton and from Hamilton to Burlington. All right, let's get to our temperature. We'll start with what we have at the moment. 3 degrees Hamilton. Cool spot. 5 for Mississauga, 7 Grimsby, 8 for Toronto. Seasonals this time of year, well, 5 for the overnight low, 15 for the daytime high. That's where we got yesterday. Those are our sun times and records for today. And for school today, we should be 10 by the first bell and sun, and 21 for after school. And that's the high for the day today. What a beautiful day. So we're looking at sunshine and 21 degrees, 8 overnight tonight, so it'll be milder tonight. Tomorrow, sunny and 16, still a beautiful day. Then the showers roll in, 11 degrees with showers Sunday. For Thanksgiving Monday, high of only 8, and that's pretty much what we'll get on Tuesday as well. At least we'll get some sunshine back on Tuesday, and then temperatures build Wednesday and Thursday. That's your forecast. Annette, Tim.
All right, thanks for that, Brian. Let's go to Berlin because the zoo's newest stars are finally taking a peek at the world.
Oh, man, they are so cute. 2 panda cubs born about 6 weeks ago. They've opened their eyes for the first time. They were born in August and now weigh just over 2 kilograms apiece. They're starting to become a little curious about their surroundings. Where am I? These are the second set of cubs born to their mother, who had 2 other cubs in 2019. This new panda pair will make their public debut at the Berlin Zoo next week.
Oh. Is that them purring? I thought I heard a little purr happening.
Or maybe it was me. Look at their little feet. Oh, look at their little bean toes.
Did you say it was you purring?
No.
I thought you said it was you purring. You could go pandemonium there, but how about no? That's
Can't bear that.
That's low-hanging fruit. What about stupendous?
Pandas? Yeah.
Stupendous.
I like that. Okay, keep working.
Okay.
Get them to practice in the break.
Busy morning. Come on back.